So today we're speaking a bit about elephants. Okay, I know Dino's looking at me going like, what are you up to again? Wait, listen.
All right.
Let me tell you my thoughts, okay? There's a saying that says, you know what, I can't cope, I'm overwhelmed. And someone will say to you, well, how do you eat an elephant? And someone else will say, well, one bite at a time. Now, let me come back 1 second and tell you about why I thought about this.
What? Did I say what? Is this a South African saying? Because here in America, Carina, I don't think we say that. Do we? How do you eat an elephant?
Yes. So how do you eat an elephant, right?
It's been a long time since kindergarten. I don't remember that saying.
If you've got something like super overwhelming. Now, let me tell you why I thought about this.
Please do.
Think about David and Goliath, right? And
all right.
That's something you posted to this morning, and I saw it, and I thought,
sneaky,
because I've been
very
thinking
with this trickery. Okay.
I've been thinking about elephants, right? And for some reason, elephants, like, you know, when there's something between the two of you, and you feel like the energy stopped, and you say, hey, let's address the elephant in the room, because it's big, right?
But you don't eat it.
Yes, but if you've got something that's so overwhelming.
I'm kidding. You had that coming. I mean, you know, camera on. How do you eat an elephant? Okay. I don't know. Okay, so I see where you're going with this. That's a good subject.
Okay, so this is Carina, Break Fear, Find Freedom. And my beautiful co-host, Dino.
How does this happen? Okay. All right, stick around, people. It may get interesting. No, that's good. So what made you think about the elephants?
Well, think about David and Goliath. Goliath was huge, right? And David killed him. Well, knocked him out and then slit his throat, or whatever however the story goes, right? So it's about having something that's so big in front of you. You know, sometimes like you've got this mission that's so huge. How do you even start with it? And possibly that's also because of where you're at this moment, right? Where you've got all these beautiful projects, and it's like, where do I start? I'm talking for myself. I'm not talking for you, right? You go like, where do I start? So you cut it up. I mean, I'm not cutting up elephants, right? This is a metaphor. I love elephants.
You're just going to get a hold of this clip, and then you're going to be on a milk carton. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I did post today about David and Goliath, and basically, you know, more than just the David and Goliath thing, which is the spiritual message. The other thing, even if you're not, right, it's you're stronger than you think, and I really believe that, and that's really what it comes down to, right? And it's funny you say that, because you know, I'm going to talk about myself. You know, I just got a text, loving the spiritual journey that you're on, which was really very nice and flattering and stuff. And there's so many wonderful people, by the way, that respond this way. And I try not to let it go to my head these days, although full disclosure, it's really hard sometimes not to, right? I mean, it's just like, well, what am I doing? You know, you're questioning what you're doing. At least I am. There's this burning thing in me lately that I have to get out. I mean, half of the things that I do should be, basking in the sun and enjoying whatever retirement is. But we all know I can't do that. Yes. I have to have purpose. It actually keeps me alive.
Yeah.
But so aside from that, there are specific things that keep coming into my head, just very, very strong things, strong feelings. And you shoo them away, as you're supposed to if you're responsible, because you don't want to be like the kid in the candy store. I mean, everything looks good, everything sounds good, and obviously you can't have all the candy in the store. So I try and push it away. But it keeps popping. I mean, certain ones keep popping in my head, compelling me to act on, right?
Yeah.
Which is very scary in itself, Carina. I mean, honestly, I mean, look, I've hit a few home runs, but I failed more. That's very well known. I'll be the first to say it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't consider I'm something special, but everybody, when they're called for a mission, I suppose they have to either put on their armor and go out to battle, or they respectfully decline the call.
Yes.
And
Yes.
maybe it never comes again, or maybe later on in life it comes again. I don't know. I haven't been, this is all new to me, so don't take my advice. The strange thing for me is that it's all initially sounding overwhelming. The things that we talk about, the things that are current, like no secret, the magazine is coming out very, very soon, in a matter of days. And that's exciting on its own, right? And I'm trying just to focus people on that, right? There's so many other things that are going to happen that dovetail with the magazine, and just keep going. There's just so many other things that if I actually sat down and said all these things, not that I'm some big shot or whatever, but most people would be like, whoa. Yeah, even I say, whoa. Seriously, like, I bitten off more than I can chew. I mean, seriously, this is just some crazy ambition. But all along the way, if you believe in something strongly, at least this is what's happening to me, is people are coming out of the woodwork. People are getting in trenches. People are offering and extending help or advice, mostly free. In fact, almost all of them initially free. I choose to contract with certain people. Obviously, that costs a little money, but for the most part, it's free advice. It's free help. And I have somebody who came out of the woodwork that I'm not going to mention names because that defies all things that you're supposed to respect. But in the sober nation, the sober community, that I'm helping, one specific person that I help has come back and specifically said, "Hey, I want to help. I'd like to do a story on you through my eyes."
Nice.
And I was just like, whoa, enough with the self-glorification, but think about it. Think about it. This is somebody who wants to talk about them.
Yes.
How brave, first of all.
Yes.
You get a lot of those people coming. And when they do come, it makes it a lot easier to handle, right? Because it's all hands on deck. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, that may share your vision or may share your mission in part or in whole. I mean, I don't know. That's to be determined. But the difference with this particular mission, post-retirement, so to speak, is there's no specific deadline. There's no, forecasts and charts and 3-year and 5-year projections and all that stuff. It's just basically sitting back after you light a match and seeing the wildfire that starts. And, again, I mean, there's going to be some times where I light a match and it rains, but so far there's been no rain and there's brush fires growing every single day, not just in the United States, but all across the world.
Wow.
To prompt you to say hello, goodbye, and thank you in different languages. You cheat, you get the Google translator, okay. But to be able to have that special connection with people all over the world is kind of cool.
It's very cool.
So although I should be overwhelmed by a dozen elephants in my room, at this time, it doesn't really seem like it. I mean, there's certain appointments and commitments that I have that, you know, I'm doing this podcast. After this podcast, I have a lot of stuff that I have. I mean, that's exhausting, you know, to go there to do it and stuff like that. But as far as the missions are concerned, they're in, you know, full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. And I'm just really, really excited to present them and unfold them one at a time. And just see the results of it. I mean, this isn't me. This isn't me. It can't be me. It's just something, there's something incredibly spiritual about what I'm doing. Why me? I don't know. I'm like the worst person to be leading any kind of charge, seriously. But it's flattering, and where it should be overwhelming. It's a really cool experience.
I'm loving that. What I see is people are attracted to your heart, right? It's not about you. And well, first of all, you're a leader, but people are attracted to who you are. And well, that's the way I feel. If you go out and you are open and honest with who you are and what you're really doing, if you're coming from a place of openness and heart, for the want of a better word, it just fuels itself. But for me, that's what my thinking. But what I'm also thinking is that as these ideas come, they're ideas from another source, right? And they obviously, hey, you're the right person to, just because you're going to be open to them. And you're open to them and you'll run with them, and it's good. And with my experience, when I've had ideas and I've ignored them, I've been pushed and pushed and pushed, and eventually something really drastic happens, because it's like, hey, you're not listening. Why aren't you listening? You get like a slap, metaphorical slap.
Just keeps coming, right?
from the universe.
Yeah.
So you have to follow those inklings, and they will take you. And then with that, everybody comes into your life, because it's just like, it's a bigger picture. It's not you. It's a divine, almost a divine intervention, and it brings in all the people to do this mission.
Well, I think there's first I'll say that in my limited experience with, at least even on the social posts, right? Initially, again, and it's ingrained, I talk about this a lot. When I first came out with the book, there is the last chapter in my first book. There's a spiritual message. It's not because I decided to, let me do something. I mean, it really happened. You can say it's a coincidence. That's fine. I mean, there's going to be, I'm not here to convince anybody otherwise. But what I was brought up thinking, and what I was actually told by the people marketing my book initially, before I took it over myself, was that the spiritual message would probably turn off a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's kind of like frowned upon. You believe it, and you have your special sign to other people that have that sign. I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost like an underground thing. You got to keep it quiet. But you know, on these posts, I'm just like, why not? Why not talk about what I feel at the moment? A lot of times it's very spiritual. A lot of times it's very silly. You know, I'm always going to be silly. But on the spiritual stuff, you know, I'm like, why not post it? Not expecting anything in return, right? Except just posting my feeling, thinking, just like we do this show, if it could help inspire one person, it's worthwhile.
Yes.
That's when I see the most responses, the most, not just likes or thumbs up or hearts, but comments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So it's a lot bigger than we think.
It is.
This spiritual community, it's a lot bigger, I think. And now more than ever, like I keep talking about, we're hungry for a direction, right? We're just to jump on a moving train, right? I've had ideas pop in my head for whatever reasons all my life, you know, and for 40 years, I used those ideas popping in my head to monetize and create some special thing, like a couple home runs that I did, and you don't realize, wow, I still sometimes pinch myself, but like, wow, I did this, right? You can't take that away from me. No. But that's feeding my own ego, isn't it? But for 40 years, these ideas have been popping in my head, and I've handled it by monetizing and making a mark. Mm. I think that's why maybe now it's easier for me to receive these ideas, because it's not necessarily foreign to me to have ideas pop in my head. But unlike the past, it's a lot harder to dismiss them. It's, even though I really do. I try. I'm like, I need this like a hole in it. There's just no way I could take this on, and it just keeps coming back. And it doesn't just come back in my head. It comes back from different people at different times with absolutely no connection to each other, with the same subject matter, the same idea being presented. And it's almost like, I mentioned in a podcast recently, it's like, we're so used to, going back in the, reading about, Moses and the burning bush, right? People really, in the Bible, you can think of it any way you want. The remake with Charlton Heston in the 10 Commandments, I remember that as a kid, Technicolor, and then the bush talking to Moses, and, Charlton Heston, really. And we look at that as just a spiritual message, right? Hollywood spends millions of dollars to create the special effects to show us a spiritual message or a sign, if you will. But, in today's world, at least what happened to me, it came as simple as a text message. And, and that's a sign too. So everybody sits there and prays like, oh, please God, give me a sign. I'm ready to follow you. And they're like, no sign. Never mind the beautiful rainbow that may be appearing because it's raining. Never mind that random call from somebody from your past, or maybe even just a total stranger that says something that sticks in your head. Never mind, all the things that happen constantly that we take for granted. Half the people that are listening to this will think this is coincidence and I'm insane, and that's okay. Yeah. But I'm finding that there's a huge audience that isn't really saying that. They're saying, wow, yeah, I get it, and it's happening to me. So here's the thing about the elephant, back to what you presented. I think it's much easier to get overwhelmed by an elephant in the room when you're not yourself first in the zone, so to speak. There's no, I'm not a licensed anything, so I don't know the fancy words to use, but I'll take recovery. In recovery, the first thing we do in recovery, even though we're very, very happy that we're sober and it feels different and it feels better and you could smell again and colors are brighter, there's almost this unrealistic push to be cured or healed forever. And people in the sober community become impatient. And you kind of have to remind them sometimes, hey, it took you this long to become addicted to whatever your thing is. It might take you a long time to unlearn, relearn, or, however you want to look at it. And it just, I wish there was a magic pill that I could give to people and just say, hey, you know what, take this. And it's like the Matrix. Right. All of a sudden you're going to be dodging bullets and you're going to be cool. It doesn't work like that. However, it is accelerated, I found, if you stop thinking about yourself and your woes and your cravings and your misery, and you start helping others who, believe it or not, may have it worse than you.
Yes.
And so like we we talk about in the whole sober community that I'm involved in. You could be sober for a day and still inspire somebody who's trying to quit. You don't have to be sober for 20. I'm not sober for 20 years. How am I doing it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no qualifications other than I'm not drinking. And I found a way to take all that stuff, that self-absorbed stuff that's in me. Poor me. Oh, I wish it was different. I wish I could drink. I'm going to be boring. Oh my God, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And just say, you know what you should do? How about starting by helping other people?
Yes.
With no expectations in return that they're going to turn around and say, hey, thanks, you're the best. Let me write about you, or let me give you $1, or let me plug you on this show, or, you know, no expectations whatsoever.
Yes, yes, yes.
And something weird happens when you do that with no expectations in return is you get it back, you know, when they say tenfold, guess again. I mean, you know, there's multipliers to the 10. Trust me. And so far it's good. So far it's good, Carina. For your audience and for me, is it always going to be like this, you know, where I make it seem kind of easy? I don't think so. I don't expect it to. I mean, that would be a very false statement, you know, misleading. But I stopped looking at the hardships in my life as, you know, oh, these trials, they're hardships and stuff like that. And I started looking at the trials that I go through in my life as exercise.
Yes.
Because really, that's all it is. It's just exercise. It passes. I mean, think about all those critical times in your head where you thought about, oh my God, if this happens, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to die. I mean, you even say that, I'm just going to die.
Right.
And how many of those things can we say? We've all had it.
Yes.
At one time or another. Some of us, like me, many times. Yet we're still here, aren't we? Right? And I'm not talking about the people who couldn't cope and they're gone. You know, and that's a sad thing. But I'm talking about for the ones who are here, the ones that still are here.
Yes, they're still standing.
Yeah, and you can carry that elephant in your bag of garbage that I keep talking about.
If you want to.
If you want to, or you could just dump it out. Now, I would not advise eating an elephant, thinking about eating an elephant or anything like that. I know it's just the same. But you know, everybody's got their own way to cope with stuff, but it all starts with being centered with yourself. Otherwise, none of this works.
Yes.
None of this works. Not mentioning any names, there are a few people that I've come across that are really facing life's challenges, right? And they want to help others. But they refuse to help themselves first. And so what they're doing is not only is extending help not authentic, it doesn't have the same magic. And then the effect is, oh, see, I can't help anybody, so I might as well just go back to doing what I'm doing. You know, and a lot of people fall for that too. You have to, and it sounds selfish, but you have to take care of yourself first.
Yes.
So
yes,
coping with things the way we've done on several shows, if people go back, we've always talked about deep dives into ourselves.
Right.
The best, I think, the best, and not pushing therapists out of business, but the best therapy, I believe, is our own, getting into our own heads and doing some deep dives that contain tremendous amount of humility, because it's really embarrassing to point out the blunders or the epic fails like mine in my life, not dwell on them, but point them out and just see what your time is consumed with, really.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
Where it should be consumed with these things, you know, little easy things that you juggle. Everybody juggles a lot of things. I mean, it's a busy world. It's a faster paced world now than ever before. But instead of worrying about the things that matter that you juggle, we worry about the anvils and the boulders and the barrels full of, 55-gallon drums filled with oil or sand that we just keep trying to carry with us for whatever the reason.
Yes.
And it's funny because these thoughts in our head, which I call garbage, it's the only garbage that we are reluctant to throw out as people, if you think about
I know, and that's, and you know what happens with garbage, because you've said this as well, is if when you keep it for a long time, it starts stinking and it's rotting, and it's and then you'll start, if you start carrying those thoughts with you, you'll look around in your life and you'll say, hey, what's happening to my life? Because it just spills over into your life, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, oh no, poor me, look at my life, I'm so like, oh, it's the end of the world, look at well, God doesn't love me, or whatever you say. Meanwhile, it's you that's created it in the first place, right?
Right.
By just harping on the garbage. So throw it out, and find, or before you throw it out, find there's always some kind of gold within the garbage, always. So find it, use it, learn from it, move on.
That may make you a hoarder. Be careful what you consider gold.
Right.
Look,
just look at it and then throw it out. Oh, I don't know.
But also here's the other side to it, right? And this is our first debate. You said it when we were talking about your book last week, and I've said it many times as well. The things that you brought over with you from South Africa to start a new life here, fully prepared never to go back to your homeland, right?
Yes.
And then because of the things, your hardships and stuff like that, when you got out, the things that you were carrying with you, you actually lost.
Yes.
Right? And then you said it was okay because I had to start fresh anyway. And same thing with me. I mean, the best memories that I say are in my head. I'm not one that has a cluttered pictures. Art is different, but photos and this and that and little mementos and trinkets and bits and bobs, as they say in the United Kingdom, which is a great word. I'm not really a big fan of those because it's just everything I need to remember is in my head, right?
Yes.
You have to dump it all out, even if there might be a nugget or two in there, I think, in order to just completely start fresh,
Yes.
And that means sometimes understanding that there are people in one particular chapter of your book that aren't really part of the whole story. They're just a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And you can remember them, you can miss them, you could only think the best moments, but maybe they're not the ones that go and finish your story. I mean, nobody's story is finished yet. But elephants, again, you could look at it as the uncomfortable thing you have to address in life. I look at it sometimes as garbage. In both cases, you got to face it and throw it out.
Yes.
In order to move on. So that's what I have to say about elephants.
Yes, and no, I agree with you. But again, sometimes you need to cut it up to see what's inside, and because sometimes with an elephant, it's so big that you don't realize that there's other pieces that it's made up of. So it could be an elephant puzzle, right? Let's do it that way. Could be an elephant puzzle. And there's pieces that need to be looked at so that you can learn and grow. So just take time, do the deep dives, or get someone to help you and see what it is, because those can bring on great healing as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But to throw it away, throw it out, yes, so that you can start again. It's
yeah, you almost have to be like I'll give a shout out to my brother. He's an engineer by trade, but also he's an engineer at home. He's a problem solver, so he's exactly going by your philosophy, where it's like, okay, when you see this thing, instead of looking at the whole thing, you got to look at the different components, and then it makes it easier. And that works for millions of people around the world. I'm convinced of that. There are other people, the big picture people, the people with no degree, no qualifications, like me, who like big pictures.
Yes.
They like big pictures, and it just makes things exciting. So it just depends who you are.
Yes.
But understand that it is a big picture, and any big picture takes time. All these famous artists, the Sistine Chapel, I mean, how many years did it take to do that one? I mean, it didn't just happen overnight, but I'm sure he thought of something in his head,
yes,
and then started. So you also have to be fully engaged, and I think you have to be 100% committed to do something, to attack something. Otherwise, you're just a browser. Well, I'd like to do that. I'd like to go skiing sometime, but when I have time, oh, we should do that. We should talk next year. Or hey, I'll call you. Maybe we should do something. We should get together soon. These are little things, trivial things.
Yes.
But it is how the mind thinks. It's just, yeah, I want to do it, but when I get around. Yeah, I want to do that, but I don't have time right now, but I still want to do it. Yeah, I'm going to start working out, but right now it's a busy time. My back hurts, my arms hurt, my leg hurts. Never thinking you could still have some kind of physical activity and just work around your ailments. I mean,
yes.
And I'm not belittling people that can't even do that. I'm just saying that you're a very complex person, and very, very, like, you have a master's degree, a PhD in convincing yourself why things shouldn't
be done.
Yeah, well, we all have that. That's
Right.
the automatic default that we have. I don't know if it's just we're wired that way, or it's upbringing, the environment. I don't know. I'm not here to figure that one out. But we all have a tendency that, given the opportunity, will default to lazy, which, it's nice to relax. It's nice to have a vacation, but I'm not talking about that lazy. I'm talking about I'll put it off for tomorrow. I want to do this, but not right now. It's the procrastination syndrome,
Yes.
So I don't care if you have baby elephants or a full-grown elephant. You're not going to get either one of them out of the room if you think like that. So again, you have to be in the zone. You have to be fully prepared for all outcomes, even hardship, because of your position. Like, I know the fun's starting in my world. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to like what I'm doing. There's going to be a lot of people that will not like what I'm doing, which is okay. There's going to still be a group of people that are going to be so vehemently opposed to what I'm doing that they will go through all kinds of efforts to try and stop me. Okay,
That's okay.
And well, I mean, I can either understand that that's coming and say, well, you know what, this was too much reality for me, I'm out. Or I could just say, I'm ready. I'm saying, bring it. I'm ready.
Yes.
And I don't mean that lightly. I mean, I'm ready, because I know that we're a lot stronger than we think, as long as we're following something that for us feels spiritual. So, yeah, that's a good way to say that.
Yes. So it's about having the trust and faith to listen to your heart and listen to divine intervention, or whatever you want to call it, because then you'll know. It's like a knowing. I mean, it's a knowing, right? That you're going in the right way, in the right place. You're going towards your mission, and then commit to it. That's the biggest thing, is the commitment, because it's easy, like you said, it's easy to go, oh, you know what, I'd rather watch TV or eat Cheetos or whatever I'm going to do. But if you do that also, then your body starts complaining, and you start getting anxious, and your body.
You start finding things, you start finding reasons. I mean, look, the part of the elephant, the head, the leg, I don't know what you want to call it, is coming out soon for me. It's Life Without Limits magazine, right? And I'm excited about it because it's not me. Okay, it's my idea, it's my concept that, you know, it's I don't know if it's original or who cares what it is, but it's a feel-good magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me an opportunity to expose other people who have the similar mission, similar journeys, similar compelling, burning desire to do something.
Yes.
And so it becomes greater than just Dino Miliotis, thank God. Thank God. And there's just so many brilliant stories. I mean, the people that we're going to feature in the first magazine, you know, I don't even know how I found them. Now they're finding me, but you know, they have a product. The product creates some movement. The product creates some grassroots following and so forth. And that to me is really cool, because that's all I've known.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk to them, some of them aren't even doing it for money. Some of them, they don't even know why they're doing it, but they believe so strongly in it. So I'm pulling back a curtain and exposing light. Really, you can't stop this light. So where everybody thinks, well, this is just one guy and one guy's mission and one guy's crusade and stuff like, you better think again, because I mean, the first issue is coming out in mid-July, you know, like I said, in a few days.
Yes.
But subsequent issues going through, I think now February, are all booked. Wow. And they keep coming from everywhere around the world, which is really, really cool. And just when you think like, okay, this person reached out, all right, just from the face and the product, doesn't sound like anything special. And you can't discriminate, because that's a big mistake. Just pick up the phone and talk to these people, and then you'll find out, oh my God, you know, are you kidding me? Like, I can't even talk about a story. My editor is going to get really mad if I do, so I won't. But it's coming soon. Hopefully, you could sign up. Again, am I doing this for? It's free. It's free.
Yes.
But by subscribing to the magazine, not only do you get the magazine, which is going to get better and better and better with content, and the people we feature, they never go away, because we'll always call them back to do opinion articles and updates on their own lives. So this magazine just keeps getting, you know, more and more value in it. Mm-hmm. But you'll also get announcements to things that are about to happen. And there's a lot of them that are about to happen.
That's very
and I
cool.
just figured that's a great place to be able to find out.
Yes.
It's not something I'm going to be posting about everywhere. It's something that will be mentioned in the magazine and all people who subscribe. So there, how's that?
That's beautiful. And of course, all the details are in the description box.
Yeah. And, you know, it was a perfect subject today, Carina. Thank you. And again, I didn't think I'd plug my magazine, but what the hell, this time I will plug it, because it is ready to come out, and it does touch on exactly what you're saying. There's a big, huge elephant in my head. And although I'm not thinking about eating it, maybe you're right a little bit. Maybe I'm showing parts of it to the world, little bits at a time, because it is a huge, ambitious goal. But I don't have a doubt in my mind that it's going to happen, because there's a lot there's a lot of great people out there, and we are reaching it. So thanks for this time.
That's
Always a
exciting
pleasure.
on its own. Thank
It
you,
is.
Dino. It's been
I
awesome.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Break Fear, Find Freedom, another episode, award-winning episode, I might say.
I'd say, right?
But it was, yeah, I would. But it was a lot of fun, and look forward to next week. Till then.
Thank you. Thank you, Dino.
See you.
Bye, everyone. See you next
Bye-bye.
week. Bye.